me tell you about a friend. It's Craig LeBlanc where the good times never end. Talking Parks and Rec, it's a show you gotta know. Welcome one and all to the Daily Parks and Rec Show. It's the Daily Parks and Rec Show.
You get a chance to build relationships that grow over time within the community. We're trying to serve our specific community and be what they need. And in that sense, when we have park projects and things like that, where we're looking at renovating a park, there's a lot of public input that gets brought in for those types of things. Like, what do you guys want to see in your park? And so in that sense, there's a lot of community buy-in, which is really cool.
Welcome back to the Daily Parks and Rec Show Leadership Series. Today, we're joined by Chelsea Kapica, Park Ranger with Snohomish County Parks and Recreation in Washington State. From environmental conservation to law enforcement, Chelsea's story shows what it means to serve both nature and people, protecting 11,000 acres of land, mentoring future rangers, and helping shape the next generation of park leaders. She's not just maintaining trails, she's building community, empowering young professionals, and proving that leadership in Parks and Rec goes far beyond playgrounds and programs. Stay tuned as we dive into Chelsea's journey. This is more than a career story. It's about purpose. It's about legacy. Let's dive in.
All right. We overcame some technical difficulties per usual, but we have a special guest, Chelsea, from state of Washington, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
And you are a park ranger, and we got all kind of cool stuff to talk about with you because big into the law enforcement training and all kind of cool stuff. And I think you do that as well, train future law enforcement.
Yeah. Up at the Park Ranger Law Enforcement Academy that's up at Skagit Valley College in Mount Vernon. So it's just a little north of where I'm from here. And there's only 6 academies throughout the U.S. So pretty special. It's in our backyard.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, so before we get started, I want to play. We're going to play something that we made for the Parks and Rec community as to why you should consider Parks and Rec as a career path. And we may have to make one for your type of career choice in Parks and Rec because there's a lot of people that it's quite different. So we'll go into the details there. But Sherry, why don't you go ahead and play number 2 and number 4, which will be how vendors can help us build this media company. So we'll go ahead and get started with those, and then we'll be right back and start our conversation with Chelsea.
Every career is a choice, but few careers let you touch lives. Not once in a while, but every single day. Step into a park on a Saturday morning. You'll hear children laughing on the soccer field, families gathering for a picnic, seniors walking the trails, finding health and friendship. And behind every smile, every memory, is a Parks and Rec professional. We don't just mow fields, we grow confidence in young athletes. We don't just build playgrounds, we create safe spaces where childhood thrives. We don't just plan events, we design moments that anchor generations. Think of the coach who teaches patience, the director who champions equity, the staff member who sees potential in a child no one else believed in. Every day, Parks and Rec professionals shape character, preserve beauty, and strengthen community. And the path isn't easy. Budgets are tight, resources stretched thin, but the reward, unmatched. Because what you give comes back in legacy, in healthier communities, in lives forever changed. So why dedicate your life to Parks and Recreation? Because here, your work never ends. It lives on, in laughter echoing across playgrounds, in green spaces preserved for the next century, in the young professionals rising to lead tomorrow. This is not just a career, it's a calling, it's a legacy, it's Parks and Recreation. A message from the Parks and Rec community. At DPRS Media Co., we believe Parks and Recreation isn't just a service, it's the heartbeat of our communities. We exist to honor the people, the vendors, and the leaders shaping the future of Parks and Rec. Our mission is simple: to tell their stories, highlight their careers, and celebrate their essential work. Our vision is bold: to be the trusted hub where leaders, vendors, and communities unite, inspiring innovation, sharing wisdom, and building a stronger, healthier nation. Through over 220 live shows and 6 weekly series, the Leadership Series, Facility Maintenance, Young Professionals Network, Youth Sports Mastery, The Rec Room, and Growing Leaders, plus our industry-leading newsletter, the weekly Parks and Rec Post, we're building a media platform made for the Parks and Rec community. And now, we're inviting strategic partners to co-create this story with us. As a partner, you'll gain 12 hours of annual live exposure with custom shows highlighting your expertise, polished 60-second promos refined for maximum impact, year-round visibility with dozens of replays across our media network, premium features in our newsletter, and amplified social media reach across LinkedIn, X, and Facebook. This is your chance to educate, inspire, and lead while connecting directly with the professionals who build, budget, and buy for their communities. This is DPRS Media Co. Let's build the future of Parks and Rec together.
All right. So if you're a vendor that would like to help us build this massive media company for Parks and Recreation, hit me up on LinkedIn. We've got a lot of great conversations going. But Chelsea, so tell us, how did you get into the career path you're in now? Maybe go back to when you were a kid. What kind of child were you, and what kind of interested you in what you're doing now?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. So I've always been very active. I played a lot of sports when I was a kid. I played Little League baseball when I was a little girl, and went into playing softball later on in high school and middle school, things like that. But also we did a lot of hiking. I grew up hiking a lot and going on walks with my dad and my brother and sister, and visiting parks. So when I was about 7 or 8, I did a trip to Pinnacles National Monument out in California, and I was living there at the time. I'd lived there since from the age of 1 year old until I was like 9, and then we moved back to Washington State. But that was like my first exposure to a park, was going to Pinnacles National Monument, and I just remember just being in awe as a little kid, just seeing the rock formations there, and I thought it was beautiful, and it really kind of set a tone for me as far as having a love for the parks. And so going into high school and stuff, that passion just continued to grow. I was part of my environmental club in high school, and then into college as well. And when I was in college, I was going to school for environmental conservation. So kind of getting into, doing restoration projects and things like that. But I was walking through the halls in college and stumbled upon a trifold that was advertising the Parks Law Enforcement Academy that was at the college I was going to, Skagit Valley College. And it just kind of married my two worlds, because it was like, I'd always had this passion as well for law enforcement, but really wanted to do something outside. And so seeing those two things married, I was like, oh, this is it for me. So I enrolled in the program and started working at a state park as a park aide, which is a very entry-level position. Just kind of figuring out day-to-day operations inside of parks. And I knew just getting into a seasonal position at that point that there was no other career path for me. I wanted to continue on this path for, see where it goes. So.
Yeah. And so for those that maybe aren't familiar with how state parks are run and how park rangers operate, we hear Parks and Recreation, and it's easy to kind of paint it with a broad brush and think that all parks are the same, all career paths are the same. So with your knowledge of what Parks and Rec is at the community level, where you're doing community centers and special events and senior centers and aquatic centers, what are the differences that you can help educate us on?
So I guess Washington State, so the state park system is a much larger system. They have some of the bigger parks in the state that they're managing, and they're getting people from all over the state, all over the country that are coming to visit their parks. We get some of that too in the community, in the county parks. But really we are in the community. So people who live in the area, they spend a lot of time in our parks, and it's unique in that sense that we really do get a chance to build relationships that, you know, grow over time within the community. So it's, you know, it's really, we're trying to serve our specific community and be what they need. And in that sense, you know, when we have park projects and things like that, where we're looking at renovating a park, there's a lot of public input that gets brought in for those types of things. Like, what do you guys want to see in your park? And so in that sense, there's a lot of community buy-in, which is really cool.
And so what are the activities that are traditional, or what are offered in the Washington State parks for people to, I know we think of a lot of campgrounds, fire circles, where they have bathrooms, plugins for RVs, where you can walk trails and stuff, but maybe describe that a little bit more for people who haven't seen your parks.
Sure. Yeah. So for Snohomish County, we do offer interpretive programs and ranger walks and talks with the community. We don't have as much rec facilities as we used to have. We had a pool and different programs, but just with lack of funding and budgetary issues, a lot of that stuff has kind of gone downhill as far as that sense goes. It's not to say that that stuff still isn't happening. It's just more of private groups are coming in to run different events in our parks. So those are more permitted events.
Yeah. It seemed like a lot of other state parks had like a swimming pool, but as these cities started to build aquatic centers and fill that need, then it seems like the state parks have kind of backed off of providing that, allowing the cities to do what they do well. And then y'all are there, I guess, kind of the stewards of the big acreage of park land, state park land. Am I describing that correctly?
Yeah. So I actually like to describe it as we're like your generalist park ranger. And what that encompasses is, yeah, we are taking care of the enforcement issues that happen within the parks, but we're also out there taking care of, you know, when trees come across trails or when there's improvements that need to be made on trails. Our system, as in the county, we actually have 7 campgrounds that we manage as well, just with our small team of 15 full-time park rangers. So it's quite a bit. We're managing campgrounds, we're managing day use areas. It's quite the array of different things that we handle. So
yeah. So if you're kind of explaining to someone that wants to get in the field, what are the maybe, I don't know, top 5 or 7 if you're putting together a job description as to what you do week to week, month to month?
I'd say, so we're out there, we're helping protect the public. So we're addressing safety concerns as they pop up on our parks, in our parks and trails. We are educating the public. We're, you know, giving interpretive programs or just talking one-on-one with people or with children that have questions, which is so fun. We're also out there just as stewards, you know, taking care of the parks. So taking care of restroom facilities, cleaning those, cleaning the grounds, a lot of like weed whacking, leaf blowing, trimming, back brush, vegetation. So we really are like a Jack or a Jill of all trades. We're taking care of all of it. So one thing I tell people is you're never going to be bored. There's always something to do, and there's it's not always super repetitive. So every day is completely different, which I love. I love the variety of having different things to do every day.
Yeah, it's definitely always something, some crisis. Let's talk about the kind of the training that you go through, because it's quite different than what, say, a park and rec director might have. And then, well, I did want to ask you, what kind of staff are you working with? Because not everybody on your staff that's helping you to bring these services to your community is a park ranger. So what are the other staff members that you work with?
So we also have full-time park ranger assistants, and they are non-commissioned staff, so they're not wearing a badge like we are. they're helping us with a lot of the day-to-day maintenance operations. So helping upkeep of restrooms, picking up litter, looking for safety hazards. They're helping us with playground inspections. That's also something that we do as rangers as well, as help out with inspecting playgrounds. We also, in my department, we work hand in hand with the park planners. We talk to the maintenance team a lot, the parks maintenance team. So that's another really cool thing about working in a smaller department, is that we really do have a say in the things that get implemented in the parks, and you do have a voice at the table, especially in Snohomish County. My agency is pretty awesome for that. So I feel like you really do get to have your voice heard and speak for the community as well. When they bring stuff to us, we can bring it straight to our planning team or our maintenance team. Say, hey, this is what they really want to see. But yeah, we work with a lot of different people to make this work. So
yeah. All right. So on day one, let's say you want to do this, you're a young person, you want to get into it. What are some of the first steps? What do you have to qualify for? I'm assuming you have to get accepted, and then the educational journey starts where they start adding on these different skill sets. But what is like that first year, or that first 6 months as you're accepted into the community of parks rangers?
So when you become a ranger with us, you're either starting with us as someone who's already gone through a park ranger law enforcement academy certified through FLETC, or you are getting hired with us, and then we may sponsor to send you through the academy, depending on your experience and how well the whole process goes for hiring. So the first 6 months, though, so when we bring a brand new park ranger on, and let's just assume they've already gone through the Park Ranger Law Enforcement Academy, they've done that training, which we can jump into that later too if you want to get more details on that.
Yeah, I'd love to later.
All right, so say they continue, they get hired on with us from there. We put them through a field training period. So they actually have a field training officer that's certified through the state, which is one of our park rangers that they work with. And they learn the ins and outs of our job. We want to set them up for success when they come through the door. We want to make sure that as many questions as they need answered are answered, and that they feel confident and ready to be on their own when they're out there taking care of the duties that we take care of. But we do our best to set them up for success with the field training program. And I think that's so important right now. Just lots of training so that people feel confident and can serve the community in the way they need to be served.
And how long does that field training program last?
So it's about 2.5 or 3 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then when you exit that, you don't get your official badge just yet? You're just kind of or where does that leave you at the end of that 2 to 3 months of training?
So you do get your commission, which we're commissioned through our sheriff in Snohomish County. So we hold a special commission through the sheriff's office. You get that commission when you're hired, as long as you've already completed the Park Ranger Academy. Because when you're in field training, you need to have that authority to learn the job and take care of the duties that you're assigned to. But yeah, once they get out of training, they are good to go. They're still working with other rangers, but they've basically been given the blessing. All right, you guys can go forward and do good now. So.
Right. And so what type of certifications do you leave that with? Is that the training for fire response, fire prevention, being the first person on the scene? Obviously you've got some kind of firearm certification. What are the different certifications you get through that process?
So through the Park Ranger Law Enforcement Academy, you are learning patrol tactics. They're learning defensive or control tactics, how to handle someone defensively if they need to use those types of skills. They're Taser certified. They get certified to carry OC spray, which is like pepper spray. And then they also get certified to carry a baton and get all the skills to use those weapons. Those are all of the things that we carry as our personal defense equipment. We actually currently are not armed in our department, but it's something that could quite possibly happen in the next few years, just with our population growth and the different communities that we're serving, and how we may need to have that, unfortunately, if we need to use it. So
And are y'all trained at all? Like, let's say somebody gets lost in the woods, do y'all kind of help organize the search efforts and stuff like that?
We may assist, but we have a really large search and rescue volunteer crew here in Snohomish County, and they take care of most of that. But we may assist as far as giving details of uh, specifics within the parks, depending on where this person may be lost. Just because we know the parks better than anybody else. So.
Right. That's kind of what I was thinking is they're going to be looking to y'all just because you know the land so well, and you can kind of help facilitate some of that.
Yeah, we've assisted with looking for lost people in that sense with the search and rescue teams, the sheriff's office, and kind of giving them detail as far as these are the things you may want to look for, places you might want to look for this person. Just with our knowledge of the ins and outs of the park.
Have you had to participate in any of that before?
Yeah, actually a couple days, or was that last week? Last week I was helping look for someone. So
that's got to be kind of scary.
Yeah, depending on the situation. So this was a person that I think was having a disturbance, mental issue. So we were just out there looking to see if we could help them and find where they were at. So
yeah. Now, what about as far as fire prevention? I was speaking with someone similar, I think in Georgia or Tennessee, was also a park ranger, and they were saying that the fire departments, the police, even the search and rescue do kind of use you as the local expert on the terrain and the trails and how the condition of things are. And do y'all kind of do that for the fire department as well? Or do y'all have any kind of fire? I'm sure you have a fire response on all that land that you're maintaining.
Yeah, Snohomish County Fire Department is extremely large. And as far as our county goes, just to kind of paint a picture too, we're pretty urban for the most part. So having like a police response if we need backup or if we need a fire response is extremely quick. I've called for an aide to come to the park, and they've been to a park within 3 or 4 minutes. So as far as that goes, we don't do a lot of the fire prevention within our parks, but we have super fast response from our local fire departments.
Now, y'all are next to, what big city are y'all next to? Is it y'all close to Portland?
So we're about, I want to say 30 minutes from Seattle.
Seattle. Yeah. That's right. Thinking the wrong state with Portland.
It's all good. It's all Pacific Northwest, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I imagine you have a lot of people from Seattle coming into your park system just trying to get out and experience the wilderness and stuff. What's the population that visits, I guess, land that you're managing each year?
Yeah, we're getting a lot of folks from Eastern Washington, from Seattle. We get people from out of state Oregon. A lot of folks from British Columbia, actually, up in Canada, love to come down and use our park facilities. And love to get into our campgrounds, because even though, like I said, we're fairly urban, we have 7 campgrounds, and they make you feel like you're very far removed, which is pretty cool. So.
Now, how many acres of land and how many miles of trail? Maybe describe the territory that you're over.
Sure. Yeah. So we have over 11,000 acres of parks and trails that we take care of, and it's spread over 100 different park properties, some which are active parks, some which are conservation futures land, so land that's undeveloped that could possibly get developed later on with a bigger plan. And then we have miles of shoreline along Puget Sound, which is kind of our ocean front, I suppose, out here. And then along our lakes and rivers, we have a lot of lakefront and riverfront park properties as well. And then, like I said, we have 15 full-time park rangers that help maintain all of that land.
Wow.
So, yeah, take care of a lot.
How do y'all define a trail? Is this just literally like a dirt path going through stuff that's kind of unmarked, or do you have any that are like bike trails, walking trails, stuff like that that's under your supervision?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We have a bunch of different types of trails. So we have multi-use trails where you have people who are mostly like riding bikes or just walking or running. So those are our paved trails, and they typically are connecting to cities. We have the Centennial Trail and we have the Interurban Trail, and both of those trail systems are kind of like I would almost say like a commuter trail, like in the sense that you're going through different towns and cities on those trail systems. But then we also have lots of trail systems that are exactly what you're describing, more of that primitive trail that would be at like areas that we have, like Paradise Valley Conservation Area, Lord Hill Regional Park, and there's some that are shared use, some are bicycles only, some are equestrian only, some are hikers only. So we have a huge range of those trail uses. So, and some of them are just everyone can use the trail. So.
And so, as far as the horse trails, how many miles of horse trail do y'all have?
Oh, I don't have a specific number on it. And actually, we have trails that we decommission, and then we're making that come and go.
Yeah.
But we have a lot of miles of equestrian trail, because the equestrian trail users, they can also use those the Centennial Trail. So I mean, it's like 30 something miles, 33 miles, I think, of trail system just on that one trail.
Now I'm curious, what is the y'all don't y'all kind of sit under the governor as far as the top figure in the Rangers?
So in the county, we sit under the county executive in Snohomish County. Yeah.
Okay. So then are you combined with all the other state parks through that county system?
So I suppose we're different entities. So Washington State Parks sits under the governor of Washington.
I see. Okay.
For the state of Washington government, and then we're county government. So
okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why y'all sit under the what did you say was the county authority, county manager,
county executive,
and then under the sheriff as far as the law enforcement locally.
Yeah, the sheriff grants us our commission so that we can carry out law enforcement duties.
And so what's the difference between a state park ranger and a county park ranger? Are they fairly similar?
They're fairly similar. Like I said, I did a couple seasons working as a park aide with Washington State Parks back in the day when I was a much younger ranger. And yeah, working for them, they are very generalist as well. So they're still out there taking care of maintenance related duties within their park systems, but they're also handling the law enforcement side of the job as well. So we're very similar in the way that we take care of things. They have a bit more authority than we do as far as with Washington State Parks goes, and they do carry firearms. So we have a special commission. So it's a little more limited of authority.
Now, what made you want to choose the county park ranger versus the state park ranger?
So when I graduated the academy in 2013, there was a large amount of layoffs that happened in Washington State Parks, because that kind of was my plan, was to work for their agency back then. And over 100 rangers were let go at that time due to budget constraints. And from what I had heard from folks that I knew and respected within their agency, that had been something that had happened before, and something that could happen again. And just with job security, I wasn't really interested in having to deal with that, and then seeing some of my friends have to move to different parks to keep their jobs, or have to cut their season by 3 months, go down to 9 months a year as a full-time person. I just said, I'm going to look for something a little bit more stable. And I definitely found that here in Snohomish County. I think the World of Washington State Parks, they're an amazing agency. I just wanted to make sure that I had a little bit more stability. And with the county, I've had that. And also I'm from Snohomish County. So it's
it's home for you.
Yeah, it's pretty cool that I get to work in the parks that I grew up going to. I mean, some of my favorite parks as a kid, I actually get to work in those parks now and make improvements and be a part of, making the parks better, which is really cool. So
yeah, that's fantastic. Okay, so we're coming up on our halfway point, doing a little quick commercial break where we promote our upcoming show. So right after this show, we have our Youth Sports Mastery show hosted by Aaron Locks. And then we'll play our YPN show, which is for young professionals getting into this network of Parks and Rec professionals. We have a Friday show every Friday, 12 noon Eastern, the Young Professional Show, and then every Thursday, 1:30 p.m. Of course, we may be running a little bit behind schedule on our 1:30 show because that's coming up in 8 minutes. But Sherry, if you wouldn't mind pressing, let's do 7 and then 6 afterwards, and we'll be right back and finish up with Chelsea.
At DPRS Media Co., we don't just create content, we elevate community through storytelling. Now, we're proud to introduce the newest addition to the family. Welcome to Youth Sports Mastery, the podcast where champions are shaped not just on the field, but in life. Hosted by National Academy of Athletics founder Aaron Locks. Youth Sports Mastery dives deep into how youth sports can empower kids, strengthen communities, and build leaders. From coaching culture to recreation strategy, and from player development to parent impact, every episode brings game-ready insight from the people making it happen. Youth Sports Mastery goes live every Thursday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Only on the Daily Parks and Rec Show, sponsored by National Academy of Athletics and powered by DPRS Media Co. This is where purpose meets play.
Are you ready to lead the next generation of Parks and Rec? Whether you're a student, intern, or rising leader, welcome to the Young Professionals Network by DPRS Media Co. Our mission? To empower early career professionals in parks and recreation through mentorship, visibility, and real-world leadership development. Our vision? A national network of passionate, prepared, and purpose-driven leaders who shape the future of public service. Starting now. Powered by the Daily Parks and Rec Show, YPN gives you access to exclusive interviews, career-building resources, behind-the-scenes content, and live events, all created by and for the next wave of Parks and Rec professionals. Learn from seasoned directors, build your brand, get involved with national conversations that matter. Whether you're in youth sports, facilities, programming, or policy, YPN is your launchpad. Young Professionals Network, your career, your community, your story.
All right, I got a couple of topics that when we were doing our show prep that I'd like to talk about, but I want to make sure that we don't miss out on something that you would like to tell the audience. I'd like you to tell us about why you chose to be an instructor in your law enforcement. I want to talk a little about the WRPA and how you were recognized as an emerging professional. And then I'd love for you to tell everyone, when you take these walks with like kids explaining stuff, what that looks like. Is there any other topic though that you'd like to cover before the end of the show?
No, I mean, I think that all sounds really great. So.
Okay, good. All right, we'll start with the instructor. So after being through that program, you chose to participate as an instructor. How long have you been doing that for?
I've been an instructor at the college for about 6 years now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And what does that look like? Or what's the time commitment? When is it? Where is it? How many people have you graduated or failed?
Yeah, no, for sure. So it's the parks. It's called the Park Ranger Law Enforcement Academy. So like I said, there's 6 academies throughout the U.S. So this is one of 6, and everyone who's going through that is getting a job either with the National Park Service, with the Forest Service, some other federal agency, or they're going state, or they're going county, or even city. So a lot of these academies are shaping all of the park rangers for the country, which is really cool. So you get to meet everybody, which is so cool. People come from all over the country just to go to the academy up here at Skagit Valley College.
Do you have kind of the whole West Coast, or pretty much you just find one of the 6 and you just go to that one, and you could come all the way from Georgia to attend it, or kind of what rough region do y'all serve?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, anybody from anywhere in the country. We've had Rangers who have gone through that academy and then come to work for us full time that came from Kentucky, Florida, Wisconsin, all over the place. So it's cool. What the common theme I've heard from those folks is they said, well, there was an academy here on the east side, but I really wanted to see the mountains. So they'll come up to Washington and spend 6 months here, go through
Oh.
through the academy. And yeah, so you get to meet everybody from all walks of life, but yeah, it's really cool.
What is it, classroom time versus field time? Is it just a lot of books in classroom, or do y'all take them out in the field and kind of work them and show them things, or how's that work?
Yeah, so they go through a lot of law, right? So they really have to know the ins and outs of the law and the Constitution and all of that. So the first few weeks of the academy are pretty, I would almost say, death by PowerPoint.
Yeah.
But a lot of that stuff, I mean, they do have to make sure that you get all of that info so you don't violate someone's rights, right?
Yeah.
So you're getting all of that information. And then after that, the academy goes more to moving to like a 50-50 and then almost like an 80-20 where you're out doing things. You're doing scenario-based training. You're learning how to do patrol tactics and talk to people and, you know, handle different law enforcement related situations. And they're getting defensive tactics training, firearms training. They have to get tased, which I'll put that out there too. I am the Taser instructor for the Parks Academy. So I've been doing that now for about 6 years. And yeah, I've been helping out with that and then helping teach them their patrol tactics. And I also do help with a lot of the control tactics because I'm a pretty avid mixed martial artist as well. So yeah, I love teaching. It's so fun.
How did you get the Taser instructor? Did you volunteer for that, or did you just weren't paying attention when everybody took a step back?
There was an instructor that we had, who's really awesome guy, Tim Durand. He worked for the sheriff's office here for a long time and took me under his wing and said, "Hey, do you want to take the reins on this? I'm not going to be teaching this class anymore up here." And I said, "Well, yeah, absolutely." So I went and got my Taser instructor certification, and it worked out because I can now help make sure that we're all in line and good with our certifications through our department. But I'm also up there at the academy helping these new rangers that are going through learn how to use their equipment. And also they do a voluntary exposure. So so that's always fun.
Yeah. And so if I'm understanding you correctly, you have to be tased before you're allowed to be certified to tase other people, correct?
You don't have to. It's voluntary to do it, but people, you know, there is a benefit to doing it as far as, you know, if you ever were called to court, you could say, "Oh, I am aware of the effects of this because I've been through it myself."
Right.
So it'd be really good for court testimony and things like that. So yeah, most people choose to get tased. Yeah.
And so you've been tased before, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Describe what that feels like.
Well, your body goes into a complete lockup for 5 seconds, and it's the longest 5 seconds of your life. And yeah, like when you're done, you just have a huge adrenaline dump. You feel like you just ran a mile. Feel pretty. A lot of people say they felt really good. I felt good. I felt like I had just done a really hard workout. So yeah, in the 5 seconds though, it's terrible. It's not fun.
You know, I've in a former life, I was a master electrician. We did service work, and I have did not volunteer to be tased by the electrical service, but we've all been shocked. Not for 5 seconds, though. We've all gotten off of it, but just that half second or 1 second was enough for me. I can't imagine staying on that for 5 seconds. That must be,
I would dare to say that the exposure to the OC or to the pepper spray is way worse.
Oh, the pepper spray is worse than the tasing?
Way worse. Yeah.
And you have to endure that as well, or volunteer as well?
No, that one you have to do. So you have to be sprayed with the OC spray.
Yes, I've never been hit by that accidentally or not. But I remember my daughters, I got a bunch of pepper spray for all of them and put it on their keychain. Tried to show them how do you show somebody how to use this thing? Just kind of press and hopefully it works.
It's very effective. It works. But it is when you have the exposure yourself. I mean, with getting tased, it's 5 seconds of pain. When you get sprayed with pepper spray, it's at least 4 to 6 hours of, feeling the effects of it, and even sometimes kind of reactivating the next day. So, yeah.
and that's all part of it.
Yeah.
And so what do y'all do as far as reaching out, maybe even recruiting, trying to get other people interested in your profession? Is there any outreach that y'all do?
Yeah, absolutely. So we actually have a recruiting video, which is pretty awesome, that we have up on YouTube right now. If you were to look at Snohomish County Parks Join Our Team, you'd be able to find that video. It's pretty awesome. So we have that out, we share that, but we also do a lot of recruiting. We go up to the Parks Academy and recruit to their cadets. We go to schools, middle schools, high schools to get the word out. We go to technical colleges, and we also go to different events. So if there's a job fair event at a high school or at a college, we go to a lot of those events. And when we go to those, we're looking at recruiting not only full-time park rangers, but a lot of time that's where we try to get the word out about our seasonal positions, because we hire a lot of seasonal employees for the summertime.
Yeah, I think I found your video. It's just Parks and Rec recruitment video. Do you mind if we play it?
Go for it. Yeah, it'd be
All
awesome.
right, give me a second. I'm going to share screen. And so you can find this on their YouTube channel. Let's see, share screen. Yeah, this will be cool. It's not a long video. It's like 2 minutes. Let's get that thing all the way up. All right. See if this works.
I love Snohomish County. I love the parks. You have everything from mountains, rivers, lakes, beaches, swimming. To be honest, at my age, I want to enjoy grandkids now. And working for parks, I feel like I can still contribute to my community, but it's very enjoyable. It's very stress-free. Go home at the end of the day and you're not carrying a lot of weight and baggage. You can actually put your phone on the mantle, check out, and spend time with your family.
My favorite part about working for the department is the people. My team is amazing.
Having teammates that care for each other and look after each other is very beneficial to being a park ranger.
The type of employee we're looking for is someone who enjoys a variety of work, someone who enjoys serving their community, somebody who enjoys the outdoors.
You have to be flexible and be able to kind of roll with the punches, because we are like a jack of all trades. We don't just do one thing, we do many, many things.
It's never boring. We need a wide variety of skills.
Every day is different working for Snohomish County Parks. It's definitely not a boring job.
I think we're still muted. Okay, now we're back. That was a great video. Can you hear me? Oh, let's see. Hold on. Let's see. Can you hear me okay? No, we're still. How about now?
Mute me.
Let's see. Can you hear her?
Hey, can you hear me? Chelsea? Hey, Chelsea, can you hear me?
Well, I think we lost. Somehow we lost our sound. Let's see. Settings. Audio. Nope, we're still good on my end. I wonder if that's on her end.
Wait.
I can hear her. Say something, Chelsea.
Are you there?
Yes. I can hear you, but you can't hear us for some
I'm
reason.
seeing a black screen here.
Let's see. Well, while we try to get Chelsea back on, Sherry, I'm gonna boot her off and then just tell her to come back on so we can finish up a little bit. But that would be see if she can come back on and oh wait,
Wait.
can she hear us now?
Can you hear us now?
She may be typing to us. Let's see. So we can see. This is a live performance for those wondering. She's a fast typer. All right, I'm going to hop out of the studio and come back in. See if that works for me.
Some technical difficulties here.
All right, now can you hear me? Still nothing. Oh, well.
Settings. When you played the YouTube.
Orientation. Oh, well, we just may have to cut this last part. Let's see if she's in private chat.
Okay.
I'm going to do the same, Sherry. All right. Well, I think you can hear. How about now?
I'm here now. I can hear you.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know what we did.
I don't know.
The video was so good it overwhelmed the system with.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun making that video. It was a really good time.
Yeah, y'all did a great job. Who made that for y'all? You just hired somebody locally?
Yeah, it was a local group that makes these videos.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, gosh, I'm trying to remember their name. They're awesome. They're actually local out of Arlington, Washington.
Yeah, did a great job. Great job. Is it okay if I play that on other shows just to kind of help promote what y'all are doing?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, I'll air that a few other times, especially with other park rangers, because we do a lot of stuff for Parks and Recreation, which most people understand that at the community, local, municipal level, but we really don't get a lot of, in my opinion, enough information about the work that y'all are doing, and that video really kind of sums it up well. So
the company was called A Huge Production. That's what they're called.
Oh, well, they did a great job. Hats off to A Huge Production.
Yeah.
Hire them; they do great work. I just saw it. Okay, so we got a few more minutes left. Let's talk about the WRPA conference. So you've attended that how many times, or a few times up there?
Yeah, I've gone to one of the conferences, one of the 3-day conferences, and then I've gone to one of the, they also do trainings where it's like a 1-day training.
Mhm.
And the 3-day conference was really awesome. Just getting to network with the different parks professionals and kind of learn how other people do things. It was super helpful for us we took away a lot of really good information that we were able to help implement into what we're doing. So it's really cool to have that connection.
Yeah, that's and how well attended is that one up in Washington?
Oh, there's a lot of people that go to those conferences. Say at least a couple hundred, maybe 200-300 people.
Yeah. And how many park rangers, either state or county, do you see there?
Not a whole lot. I want to say I saw maybe 3 or 4 other park rangers, but most folks worked in parks maintenance or planning or were in administration.
Yeah. Is there any other events that you could attend for maybe more specific to the park ranger side, nationally or locally or regionally?
Yeah, so I mean, we could go to the NRPA conference. That's something I would like to do someday, but I haven't had the opportunity yet to go and check that out. But locally, we do get together with some of the other local municipalities and some of the counties to put together our own ranger roundtable that we put on, and it's been really helpful too. We get together with a lot of the other local cities and kind of see what they're doing for different things, as far as, you know, whether it's issues in the parks like graffiti or you know, homeless encampments, things like that, or just how to better prune trees, things like that. So it's
Nice.
it's a good variety of things that are talked about.
Nice. Okay, so I have got a question for you all the way from Connecticut
Sweet.
from my last guest. So we have a little tradition here where you get to leave a question for my next guest, and so Kenny Michaels from Connecticut. What was the name of his city though? Not Willington. Well, Wallingford, Connecticut. So the opposite side of the country that you're on. And he says, what gives you that continued drive to do what you do? That's the question he left.
That's a pretty good question. Well, like I've said in the podcast here, I'm super passionate about training and helping us grow like the future leaders in Parks and Rec and in the park ranger world as well. And honestly, I just get a lot of satisfaction and joy out of helping other people get their bearings in this world of Parks and Rec, and encourage them to be their best selves and just like do what we're doing. This work is important, especially with the population growing throughout our state. It's really important that we safeguard these green spaces and keep them protected for future generations to come, and also help teach the kids and the youth why it's important to safeguard these spaces. And yeah, I mean, that's really what keeps me going, is seeing the joy that the kids have when they're out and about in the parks, and you know, just getting excited about being outside and learning about the environment that we live in. It's so important to me to have that connection. And I think it's really good for people's mental health as well. And that's a huge driver for me too. I think we need a lot more of that in this world. So
yeah, absolutely. I remember when we had spoken earlier, you said one of the things you love to do most of all is watch a kid catch their first fish.
Yeah, it's super fun. Yeah, watching kids catch their first fish or be out there in the campground their first time camping, and you know, so excited to tell you about the campfire they had and the s'mores they made and all that kind of stuff. So it's really cool. It's cool to see them get passionate about being outside and, you know, spending time in the outdoors.
Yeah.
Especially when we're so overran with technology, you know.
Oh, I know. This is probably the first time they get hopefully you'll have some parks that are maybe out of internet zone or whatever, where they kind of have to go into nature, but I don't know. It seems like it's everywhere now.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Now, okay, so another tradition we have is, first of all, what question would you like to leave my next guest?
Ooh, let's see. If you could leave some words of wisdom with, you know, an upcoming person in your field, what would you tell them? And why?
Oh, I love that one. Okay, got it. What and why? And then lastly, if you are standing in front of a classroom, college, high school, whatever, of undecided people, don't quite want to know what they want to do with their life, what is your elevator pitch testimony to the industry that you've dedicated your life to?
I basically tell them, you know, if this is something that you see yourself doing and you think that this is something you can get into, just take the first step. Go out and volunteer in your parks. Go get an entry-level position as, a park aide or some other position as a general, maintenance laborer in a park, something like that, because I feel like it's so addicting to be in this type of work. You get out there and, you don't have to sit at a desk all day. Not saying that that's a bad thing at all. Some people love that.
Right.
But if that's not the life that you see yourself leading, and you're okay with, getting paid in sunsets, it's a happy life. It's a good life.
Yeah.
And I would highly recommend that they get into this field, because you're not going to have a boring day. It's never a dull moment, and we have a lot of fun, and you're going to meet like-minded people and have some of the probably strongest friendships and relationships you've ever had through that connection.
I love that, getting paid in sunsets. That's beautiful. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show today. I really appreciate it. And if there's anyone you'd like to help Sherry get in touch with from your field that you feel like would also be good guests for the show, to just try to raise awareness across the country, really, of being a park ranger, whether it's for the state parks or for county parks, or like in Louisiana, we call them parish parks. But yeah, that would be great to have more people kind of on your side of Parks and Rec, just to kind of, like I said, help raise awareness to the industry a little bit better.
Yeah, absolutely. Right on.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, thank you for coming as a guest on the show, and appreciate all the work that you're doing to keep our parks safe and beautiful, and have a great rest of your week.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on, Craig. You guys have a good day.
Yeah, take care, Chelsea.
All right, bye.
All right, so that was another great Parks and Rec professional from the side of being a park ranger, law enforcement, taking our beautiful county parks and state parks. And we may have to get some of the national parks on there, because, parks and park rangers run quite differently than what you would consider your traditional Parks and Recreation, which you find at the municipal level. So I really did want to kind of give a little more exposure to that side of the Parks and Rec community, because you'll see a lot of those at NRPA, at the state conventions. They'll be in their uniform, they'll have the badges and stuff. And I was always curious to learn more about them. So I'm glad Chelsea came on today to help share that with us. All right, so we're going to play, let's see, to exit. Let me go ahead and do our essential services. This is a video that we made. Sherry, would you like to press number 1? And then we'll go ahead and close it out. Let me see what's closing out. I think it's our state park, our how to participate as a vendor. Yeah, so hit 1.
When we talk about essential services, what comes to mind? Police, firefighters, healthcare. But there's another essential service, often overlooked, yet always present: parks and recreation. Parks and Rec is health. It's the walking trail that lowers blood pressure, the recreation center where seniors fight isolation, the swim lessons that prevent tragedy before it happens. This isn't a luxury, it's a lifeline. Parks and Rec is safety. A playground instead of a street corner, a basketball court instead of trouble, a summer camp where every child belongs. It's not just about activity, it's about protection, prevention, and possibility. Parks and Rec is community, the festival that brings neighbors together, the cultural event that teaches respect and diversity, the open space where a city breathes. It builds bridges where division once stood. It gives people a reason to gather, to connect, to care. And Parks and Rec is economics. It strengthens property values. It drives tourism through events and trails. It saves on healthcare costs. Every dollar invested multiplies, feeding back into schools, into safety, into growth. Essential service is not just about survival, it's about thriving. And Parks and Recreation is where thriving begins. In wellness, in equity, in culture, and in joy. Parks and Rec isn't extra, it's essential. For our health, for our safety, for our communities, for our future. A message from the Parks and Recreation community. At DPRS Media Co., we believe Parks and Recreation isn't just a service, it's the heartbeat of our communities. We exist to honor the people, the vendors, and the leaders shaping the future of Parks and Rec. Our mission is simple: to tell their stories, highlight their careers, and celebrate their essential work. Our vision is bold: to be the trusted hub where leaders, vendors, and communities unite, inspiring innovation, sharing wisdom, and building a stronger, healthier nation. Through over 220 live shows and 6 weekly series, the Leadership Series, Facility Maintenance, Young Professionals Network, Youth Sports Mastery, The Rec Room, and Growing Leaders, plus our industry-leading newsletter, the weekly Parks and Rec Post, we're building a media platform made for the Parks and Rec community. And now, we're inviting strategic partners to co-create this story with us. As a partner, you'll gain 12 hours of annual live exposure with custom shows highlighting your expertise, polished 60-second promos refined for maximum impact, year-round visibility with dozens of replays across our media network, premium features in our newsletter, and amplified social media reach across LinkedIn, X, and Facebook. This is your chance to educate, inspire, and lead while connecting directly with the professionals who build, budget, and buy for their communities. This is DPRS Media Co. Let's build the future of Parks and Rec together.